What's up, everybody? I hope everybody had a good chance to listen to part one AJ's story last week, because it was a good one, right? There's some things I didn't even know about the kid, but what a story of resilience and kind of that all go, no quit attitude. Today is part two of his story, and to give you just a little background, we had recorded this episode first, and we didn't like the way it turned out without telling the story from last week, because it really kind of sounded like he was pretentious, just kind of fell into this job and now he's living the life, but that's not how it turned out, obviously. So if you haven't had a chance to listen to part one, I don't know that you should listen to part two, other than the fact that he does talk a lot about, how to be a good example on the job and to be the guy that you see on the schedule and go, hell yes, I get to work with AJ or whomever. So be that guy or be that gal that you look on the schedule and say, I get to work with this person. It's going to be awesome. No real life updates. We're starting to slowly, ramp up the RPMs on spring with maintenance and spring projects, and track season is in full force, and softball, baseball, spring league, and turkey season, and all things that are spring. And so I'm having a little bit of a tougher time finding time to work on podcast stuff, but we'll get her done. I got some new guests that have committed to the episodes or to the podcast, which I think is great. So in between scheduling people for sit downs, I don't want to do it remotely if I don't have to. I really think having a conversation with somebody face to face is the way to go. It may not always work. But I would rather have that content than listening to somebody talk on a computer. But we'll figure it out. I've got the chicken legs showed up the other day. He confronted me face to face. It was not contentious. He's not a threatening guy. For obvious reasons, like the guy's got from the waist down, he's nothing. So really, if I wanted to take him down, it would just be a single leg, and it would probably be over. But I've come up with the workout. The challenge, the squat challenge. I'm not going to release it just yet. You guys are going to have to hang on. Let me run it by chicken legs and make sure it's something in his wheelhouse, which I'm sure it's not because it's legs. So I'll figure that one out. Other than that, nothing really to report. Enjoy part two of AJ's story. He's a good dude and it was a lot of fun to be around. And if you're having trouble getting fired up about anything, just hang out with this guy for a little bit and you'll be getting fired up. The only other thing I would ask, I don't know how podcast stuff works, but everybody on the cool podcasts that I listen to, at the end or at the beginning, they always say rate the show because it helps the podcast. I don't know how that helps it. I think it's if you were to search Shift Change podcast on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, the more reviews. I'm not asking you to write anything, but I'm just saying hit the 4-star, 3-star, 2-star, 1-star, how many stars you think we're worth. And I think the more people that do that, then I think it pops up maybe first in the search bar. I don't know. But if you're not cool doing it, I'm never going to ask you guys to write a review or do whatever and, spend money. And this is all free. I do this for free, and I want you guys to listen for free. So outside of that, enjoy episode 2, part 2 of AJ's story. Talk to you next week. Work hard, be kind. It's a brand new thing. I don't understand it. I guess if it cuts out again, we'll do it again.
Do it again.
All right, man. What's up? We're recording. We're probably thankful that we've been shooting the shit for the last 20 minutes without the microphone on, right? Yeah. What's the sauna protocol these days?
Yeah. Every day, about 30 to 40 minutes at 130, 140 degrees. It's magical.
God damn, it seems hot.
No, it's magical.
In preparation for you coming to my house.
Yeah.
Everything, is it warm enough in here for you?
It's chilly, but it's fine.
Can I get you a blanket?
I mean, it's not 80 in here yet, but we're good there.
Well, it takes a little bit for that furnace to get cranked up. All right, I don't have as efficient as a home as you.
I wear my long johns.
Older house.
From last night.
I can turn the fireplace on.
Actually, that'd be great.
I'm with AJ. If you guys haven't noticed, AJ is a coworker of mine. He's agreed to sit down and just talk shit with me as a recurring guest, I think, which would be a good time. Today, I don't know what we're going to talk about. What do we want to talk about? Let's talk about being positive. You want to do that? And here's why. I don't understand. There's clearly times in my life where I am not the person that I want to be. Okay? Yep. For whatever reason. And I don't know why. And it usually has something to do with my perspective or my outlook or something trivial that can take a day that starts pretty problem-free and then turn into something that it's like, what in the F am I, why is this going this way? And it's usually trivial. You relate that to work and our job and the things that we do, and I've seen it a lot, and I've been a victim of this too, where we're doing the job that we really, truly enjoy doing, that we love to do. We love going to that job. But once we get there, if I didn't have to do any job-related tasks today, that's cool. And if I do have to do job-related tasks today, I'm kind of put off by it. Like I'm bothered. Not all the time, but we certainly have those days, right?
Sure.
Like you've seen them in departments and around other places. Why is that? But the point I'm trying to bring to is that when you've come to work, I have never seen you, I've always seen you fired up about everything. Being at your job, being around the people from your job, going to do your job. I've never seen, and I'm being honest when I say this, I'm not trying to paint you in a light that doesn't exist. I see it in you. Enthusiasm, positivity, it oozes out of your pores about as much as that spray tan does. And I want to know why that happens. Or are you aware of it? Are you doing it to try to pump yourself up and be somebody you're not, like a guy before a big game? I just need to smack myself in the face a few times and I'm going to go out and be a winner? Or has it always just come naturally to you?
No, I don't think it's always came natural. I'm not perfect either. I mean, I have bad days. I still have bad days. So I don't think that I'm, victim to basically never having a bad day, I should say. But I've also been on the other end of that perspective where I wasn't the guy you wanted to be around. I was miserable. Didn't want to be at work. Didn't want to go to work. And I don't know as if it's because I didn't want to be where I was at that time, or maybe I had some resentment as well.
Well, let's talk about that for a second.
Yeah.
When you felt like you were feeling that way, or you were that guy that you didn't want to be around, what were you doing?
Nothing. That's the thing is you feel like you're not getting anywhere.
Where did you want to go? That's the thing so you know where this conversation is going. As a man, you need purpose. We need direction. We need a project.
Sure.
We need something. And it's unequivocal that if we don't have that in our lives, we are lost and we are angry and we are resentful and we're a victim, right? We're all the good things happen to the other people, but I'm special, and so I'm just doomed to have bad things. Where was that point for you? Was it right out of high school? Was it out of college? Was it you didn't know what to do with your life? What was it? Was it during high school?
No. I mean, I was just a young punk kid that didn't know what he wanted to do in life, especially in high school, especially in part of college.
Some of that is still true now.
I think a lot of my coworkers will also say that too, because I mean, I've told my stories about me in college, and that's where it's at right now. But it honestly, it all drove back to the fire department living, the station life, the 911 stuff, what's going on there.
But did you know you wanted to do that right out of high school?
In the back of my mind, yes, but I didn't have the drive to go do it.
Yeah.
Either, Sure. I just wanted to go be a kid and run around and not have any responsibilities.
Sure.
Right out of high school. But yeah, I don't know. It's one of those things where as I started to get older and I had other jobs, I was always remembering, reminding myself, well, why not this? What are they doing in the fire station? What are they doing in the firehouse? You see it on TV, you see it everywhere.
Is that how you got drawn to it, or did you have family in the business?
My dad was a volunteer firefighter in our hometown for 30 years, I think, or something like that.
So you've been around.
So I've been around.
You've been around
it's kind of a little bit instilled in me.
See, I didn't even know that about you.
He, what effects he had to the community, I saw as a little kid.
Yeah.
And then, up playing on the fire trucks and things like that as a little kid was always fun too.
Oh, sure.
On Saturday mornings or whatever.
At the pancake breakfast?
Yeah, all those fun stuff. But, back to the positivity thing like you were talking about, like it never was me for the longest time, and I think that's what bothered me the most. Is like I was the guy you didn't want to be around at work. My wife would probably say the same thing about home. She never wanted to be around me at home either because I was negative. I was, annoyed. Everything annoyed me.
What were you negative about though? Like you probably had a job by then, right? Where you were in the fire service?
Yep.
So take us through that. You got out of high school. You're like, I don't really know what I want to be when I grow up. You messed around, and then you decided, all right, listen, I'm going to fix it, and I'm going to get a direction, and I'm going to apply for.
Yeah. So that's exactly actually how it came to. I ended up applying for a fire department job part time, and then also applying for a job as a flight dispatcher for Mercy.
Okay.
Back in I think 2010 is when it was, and it was at that point where I'm like, okay, this is it. This is where I want to go. This is what I want to do.
How old were you then?
Man, 20.
I know math ain't your strength.
No, that's why I have.
You're right.
That's why I got nurse partners. 23.
Okay.
22, somewhere in there.
So
young.
Yep.
Still running around.
And you were settled on where you were, might be where you're just going to be. And you thought maybe for the next 40 years? Or you were satisfied where you were in that moment in time?
I was satisfied where I was in the moment in time, especially being a single guy and didn't really have anything else to drive for.
Yep.
And I thought being a firefighter was my avenue, and what took that is going back to EMT school, and being a firefighter EMT, and then as you go through that process, you start to figure out, okay, there's other avenues within this entire profession that you can go through, whether it's paramedic school or nursing or whatever, and going that route. So when I got involved, I was like, okay, doing the fire stuff, doing the EMT stuff, quickly translated like there's a lot more medical than there is fire.
Sure.
Especially in the Midwest, honestly. But I still did fire.
Yeah.
Still was a passion also. But then, being a flight dispatcher and then seeing how professional like the flight crew was when they would come in and do shift briefing and things like that as a young kid, I was like, wow, like these people are the real deal. Like,
sure.
They do it. Basically, I would say I was starstruck, where I'm like, yeah, these people are awesome. And, and I'm sitting right next to them, but yeah. I'm just a kid, right?
Sure.
I don't know anything. So that was a goal, is I wanted to get to that point in my career where I could also be somebody that
sure.
could also help the younger generation too. As the process kept going, I feel like I'm rambling, but as the process continued, things don't always work out the way you envision.
Sure.
And as my career started to progress, it was kind of like, there were struggles along the way. There was, whether it's, politics, bad leadership, you name it, and the list goes on, or, running the same calls over and over and over and, not getting anywhere. You don't feel like you're doing a good job, or you don't feel like, you're serving a purpose.
Yeah.
Things like that. It can put you down a rat hole quick. And I was going that way, especially in the station life and doing fire EMS both together. And so I told myself I needed to make a change, because there was a part-timer that I worked with when I was a full-timer, and he made a comment, and I'm actually glad he made this comment. He said, I didn't know if I was going to get the fun AJ today or if I was going to get the pissed off AJ today.
Yeah.
I was like, huh.
What did you ever stop and look at yourself and be like I know I'm this way, I feel like I'm this way, and I need to, because I don't know that it's a lot of, maybe we do and we just don't talk about it. Like maybe we understand that some people just wake up in bad moods, man. Like it's just nature of being a biological being, is that we're never going to bounce out of bed every day and go, shit, yes, let's kill it.
Mm-hmm.
Even though that's kind of what we really want to do. It makes life easier that way, right?
Right.
But you're in a job that you wanted to do, like you purposely pursued this profession, and yet there was still not enough to make you, I'm not going to use the word happy because we've just learned recently that happy is a direction and not a destination, but was not enough to keep you on the right side of positive. Was it because you think, what kind of shifts were you working? Was it a lifestyle issue? Was it a mental issue? Was it, you just felt like there was more? Like I really struggle with trying to find out why we're doing what we want to do, but yet we go to work and we're like, I don't really want to do it today. Like, why are we here? This job sucks. F this, F that. What do you think it was?
For me, it was a combination of multiple things. Between dispatching and then the fire side of things, I was doing 7 days on, 7 days off night shifts for dispatch. But then as I translated to the fire career, later on in my career, we would do 48, 96 shifts as well.
God damn.
And I don't think that there's a good one and a bad one. They all have their pros and cons. All the shifts do. And then, at this point, home life as well. My wife had always talked to me about, finances and money and things like that, where like I could care less. Like that just wasn't in my brain. My brain wasn't wired to talk about numbers and finances and things like that. So I had the opportunity to actually take a flight job, which was a dream job of mine, up north. And shortly after taking that flight job up north, less than 6 months later, I'm doing the fire side full time. So I've got both going on. Something had to give because you can't burn the candle at both ends. And
we sure try though, don't we?
We do. My wife was like, this one's got better benefits. This one's got better pay, yada yada. And I'm kind of like, yeah, but that's not me.
Sure.
I want to be in the air flying. I want to be taking care of patients, things like that. That's what I want to do, right?
Yeah.
But everything has a price. So my combination was, I almost built resentment at home because I, chose the fire career with the good benefits and the more money,
which is a business move, right?
Yeah.
When you have a young wife, a young marriage, and a young family, like that's a business move,
right? And that's what I felt like it was too. And I did it for my family, right? That's what you're supposed to do.
That's what you're supposed to do.
And I did, but it was quickly recognized in my short stint as a full timer choosing that route for the station life, the fire life, and that thing was I was miserable, and I was miserable at work. I was miserable at home. I didn't want to talk to anybody. I didn't want to do anything.
Were you still working?
Leave me alone.
Were you still working two jobs?
You
were working two jobs. You didn't let the flying go totally, right?
No, I went PRN with the flying once I chose which one I needed to do full time.
And so you're spending 2 days at the station,
yeah.
and then going home, and spending 4 days at home.
Yes.
After 2 days at the station.
Yes.
Jesus. Well,
and then throw a flight shift in there occasionally too.
There's no doubt. Clearly, that schedule had its impacts, right? There's no way around it. Sleep deprivation for 2 days, if you were deprived for 2 days, because even for one is terrible. Even for a night shift is like my tomorrow is going to suck. I'm working a night shift tonight. Tomorrow is going to suck. Mm-hmm. Period. There's nothing I'm going to do. I can mitigate the suck, but it's going to suck. But I couldn't imagine getting up and going somewhere on a Monday and saying, all right, guys, I'll see you back here on Wednesday morning. And in those 2 days, I'm at the beck and call, which is what we signed up to do, was to serve others.
Right.
That is our job, and that is our calling, so to speak. But it's going to suck. And so that in itself had to have its physical and mental and emotional toll on your home life, right?
Oh, 100%. 100%. But then, add to the mix that, like, I felt like my decision was made for me, not me making my own decision,
Sure, but
Sure,
but life's not an after-school special,
no.
right? Like, we get that whole, just do what you love and the rest will take care of itself. I don't know. Like, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe I really wanted to be an artist, but I suck at drawing. Like, is that going to pay the bills?
Right.
No. You found something that you were good at, that you learned that you could make money from, and then you were faced with a choice. And everybody makes, in my opinion, that decision based on objective data. I get paid X dollars more, and my health insurance is better. We're going to start a family. And I was faced with the same way. My friend, when I told my best friend MFC that I think that I want to do the job that I'm doing right now full time, he looks at me, and I'll remember exactly where we were. We were at the police station, sit-in center for the service that we worked at, and he's like, "Listen, man, that's a terrible financial decision. That's a terrible decision." And he goes, "The pay alone is terrible, and the benefits are worse." And I said, "Yeah, but I really like it. It's fun. Like, I have a good time there. I really enjoy. I have more fun there than I have here." He's like, "I don't know, man. Terrible move. You got a bunch of kids and super wife, and seems like a bad idea." Okay. Fast forward 10 years, and when we're both in the same position, right? So you really can't make decisions based on that level on your heart and chasing your dream and all the cliche things that Disney wants you to believe, because there's real world shit that you got to think about. Mm-hmm. And I don't know that anybody would fault you for saying, "I got to do what I got to do." But there was some sort of pull, I would say, to not be doing that, right? And it was manifesting in your daily habits, in your attitude, in the way you presented yourself to the world. Mm-hmm. Because you were pulled to do something more than what you were doing. You think that's the issue? That's the bigger issue?
Yeah, ultimately. But, I no fault to, like I said, my wife or anything like that. Because
no.
She saw future, she saw vision,
yes.
She saw everything else, where I'm living present and I'm focused here. Yeah. But like I said, it was a short stint, because she even said that, like, you got to make a change. Like, I don't care what it is anymore. Like,
or she was probably going to make a change.
Probably. I mean, probably. I'm already hard to live with as it is, let alone.
Yeah, right. I mean, you'd be terrible to live with if it had to be 90 in your house every day.
In my Afghan blanket and stuff.
Sure. But anyway.
Yeah, so there was an opportunity that came back up, and I was fortunate that I was able to slide back into a full-time position flying. And without even talking to my wife, I said, "Yeah, let's do it."
Didn't even consult her.
You're
like, just, "I'll deal with this later."
Yep. I said, "Nope, yeah, I need to do this. Like, I'm not right. I'm not stable. I'm not anything right now except for miserable. Yeah. And this has got to happen." So I did. And she, bless her heart, she basically supported everything I chose. Yeah. Because ultimately, as much as we like to say money buys happiness, it really doesn't, even though I still feel like it would.
Money's a tool. It's used for freedom.
She basically said, "We'll figure it out. Yeah. But you need to be happy." Okay, cool. So I'm fortunate with that she was understanding of that, very much so. And that was the turning point, right? Is, you're supposed to have these hard conversations at home. Well, mine was easy. Okay, she allowed me to do this. I'm like, great, let's go. Like, I'm in. Like, I feel the light is in sight. We're good to go. Let's move forward.
If your life was a feel-good movie, this is about the midpoint. This is about where this is about where we turn from it's going to be a terrible Christmas to all of a sudden I got everything I need. Yeah. And we're going to end the movie with you hugging your family, and it's going to be snowing out the picture window with the fireplace going, and life is perfect.
Case closed. But there's still, the grass isn't always greener sayings, right? Or, there's always something that you don't like about wherever you're at. Doesn't matter. We're human. Sure. And that's just how it is. And like I said earlier, whether it's, admin whether it's leadership, whether it's politics, like you name it. Like there's always something that is going to be some sort of a downer to your job. And those things can take effect on you, and how you feel and how you act and how you, build yourself to go to work. So I knew when I was, flying up north that, I wasn't gonna stay up there forever. I wanted to get down to where I originally started my career as a dispatcher, and get on the aircraft in Des Moines and go that route.
Sure.
That was my ultimate end all be all goal for myself. And, opportunities continued to play out for me that I was fortunate enough to get. I was able to get on PRN. And from PRN, I was able to slide into a full-time position as well, which was fantastic. And it was those points that I was like, okay, like this is great, right? This is where I want to be.
Yep.
And
you made it.
That was the feel good. That was the, okay, what do I have to be mad about?
Yeah.
I got to where I wanted to get to, years later.
And we'll find out later in other episodes, well earned.
Yeah,
right?
There was hard work along the way. There was, don't get me wrong, it wasn't, glitz and glamour. It was struggles.
Which makes it all that sweeter, right? Like we thrive on them. I say we as in, bearded men.
Yeah.
Even yours.
Yeah.
From accomplishment and solving problems and seeing things through. And those are the things that really give us perspective and gratitude and accomplishment and good feelings, right? So yours is well earned. But still, there's got to be something when you're on your fourth flight of the day and you're just starting to feel beat and like the job's going to beat you. There's something about you when you come off that helicopter and high-five me a shift change that you seem happy about it. Where does that come from?
I mean, everything we've talked about up to this point, and it's a constant reminder. I told myself when I got to this point in my life that, I'm not above anybody. I'm nothing special. I'm definitely not the smartest person around. I can tell you that much.
Yeah.
So, and when we see people on their worst days, so when I say that, it puts it back in perspective for me. If I'm having a bad day, and then I just take care of somebody that is having their worst day of their life, is mine really that bad?
No.
Probably not. So you take what we have to deal with and what we see on top of, like, I've already been that negative person at work that nobody wants to be around also. But then why am I supposed to be that person if I'm at the career that I wanted to be at? And we're here for a purpose. We're here to serve.
Does that translate off duty? Does it translate into home?
It does.
Do you feel the same way? Because I feel like it's easy, and I'll use my example. Like inside these walls, I've got really zero problems. I mean, other than the normal middle class bullshit, right? My taxes went up and blah, 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 and eggs cost a bunch. Whatever. But anything could inconvenience me at any moment where I'm like, why? But if you put it, so it's all relative, right? The point that I'm trying to make is that it's all relative to your situation. So the fact that my 13-year-old might have a hip labrum injury is inconvenient to how we run our show around here. But it's not cancer, right? So why am I so seemingly annoyed by the fact that this small thing, this small blip in her life is a big annoyance to me when really I don't have any of the problems that a lot of people have? And does it translate for you from the job to your house where you can be like, hey, listen, we'll figure it out. It's not a big deal. It doesn't affect my day and how I live my life. I'm still a happy dude. Do you take that from work and take it home?
Yeah. I mean, the majority of the time I do. Like, don't get me wrong, we're human, and I'm still going to be in irritable moods or irritated at something, whether it's on duty or off duty. That's just life. I just don't let it control me, is the way I try to do it. So, yeah, I mean, I go home and, my wife and I, we may or may not talk about work. it is what it is. You know, she talks about her science stuff, which I don't know anything about.
Yeah, it'd be real hard to keep up with her.
I think she knows more about what I do than what I know that she does. But
yeah,
I do. I translated at home because again, like I just saw somebody have their worst day, and my wife comes home and says, "What'd you do today?" Nothing.
Yeah.
Hung out.
Yeah.
Played golf. Worked out. Sat in the sauna. Like I
kept man stuff.
I did whatever I quote wanted to do. You know, and I ran errands. Like you know, like. Why am I going to be upset about that? I shouldn't, and I'm not. So it is easy, and don't get me wrong, like, I know other people have their struggles, and they're probably like, well, you know, great, he gets to do whatever he wants. Yes and no. I mean, my kid's in daycare. She's old enough to be in daycare and school full time now, so there's not a whole lot that I have to be upset about when I.
Do you have to get up and is there days where you just have to get up and pump yourself up? Like, do you have some affirmations? Do you like, nah, I'm going to get up and drive my wife's truck to work.
Yeah.
I'm going to get in a helicopter.
And that's the thing is I drive my wife's truck, you know?
Right.
So,
yeah, we know.
It's kind of one of those things.
We know.
But I just, like I said in the beginning, I never was this person. So the fact that people are seeing that I am this positive person is a good thing, obviously. It tells me I'm doing something right. I've always wanted to be the person that when my coworkers, see me on the schedule that, hey, it's going to be a good day. It's going to be a great shift. Like, there's not going to be really any issues. I'm just going to go have fun at work because I want that to affect them and have them enjoy their shift as well.
That's a big deal.
It's a huge deal. And if that translates to where we hang out outside of work too, awesome. Like, that's great. Yeah. I think it's one of the best things we can do in our profession is hang out with each other outside of work. I'm still going to vent. I'm still going to, be irritated. That's human. That's life. Things are. But at the end of the day, I make sure it doesn't control me.
At the core, you're just happy to be doing your job.
Yeah. I love what I do.
Despite...
I genuinely actually get excited to go to work the night before my shifts.
Yeah.
I just do. Like, I enjoy everything about my job.
Man, I've worked at places where it's been the opposite.
Same.
Where I'm like, I'm going to stay up real late because the later I stay up I don't have to get up so early to go to my job.
Same. Like, I've been in those situations. I've felt the same exact way. And even in, the career path that I'm in now, I've still felt that way.
What would you say? And I think that this is an interesting question. There may or may not be people listening that are like, well, that's fine for you, AJ. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm glad your shit worked out for you.
Right.
But my shit's a little different.
Yeah.
Like, somehow the laws of nature have overlooked me, and I'm not as lucky as you, and I don't feel like I can. So, woe is me. I'm the victim. Life works out for everybody but me. Like, and really, if you put things in perspective, like, their situation may feel that way. They may feel like I'm stuck in a job that I don't want to be at, doing something I'm not really interested in doing. I would really like to go do something else, but I'm not AJ, so I'm not going to figure it out, and life's not going to give me the same opportunity as it gave AJ, so I'm just going to sit here and bitch. What would you say to that person?
It's going to be hard to make change, to continue to be that way. And like I said, I don't think that I'm anything special in, how things played out for me, because I'm not, and I never claimed to be.
Probably in the grand scheme of things, when we get to this on another episode, is probably things weren't as easy for you. Like
no,
right. And we're going to learn more.
Struggles.
Sure, we're going to learn more about that later. But today, I just wanted to focus on like your mindset and why you are. And I think it's infectious. Like, we'll take the sauna thing for example. Like, when you decided you were going to do a sauna, you went all in. Mm-hmm. You're like, I'm not going to half-ass this. I am in this sauna every day, while my wife is at work making lots of money. Right, and we joke about that, and we're like, well...
But it's true.
That just proves my point, Jason, is that he's a kept man, and his wife makes a bunch of money, so he has the ability to do this. But you had to earn the ability to do it, right? Like, you did not just, like, wake up one day and go, you know what I'd really like? I'd really like to find a lady that is super smart that makes a ton of money so that I can spray tan and sauna all day. It worked out that way.
It did.
Because of the vision that you had for what you wanted for your life.
Right.
Right. And that in itself is probably worth keeping your head up about, right?
Oh, yeah. I tell her every day, I go, I got rich or she got poorer.
Yeah.
I tell her that every day.
I like the old joke.
I'm not going to hide it. I mean, come on.
Listen, we both married up.
Yeah.
Let's just be honest. For different reasons. I married a preschool teacher, so clearly didn't marry for money. But I love her regardless. And I could spray tan and sauna all day too if I wanted to.
I mean,
I just choose not to.
it happens.
But there are people that are like, I'm 15 years deep into this job. I don't really care for it. They're coming to work every day. They are that person. If you don't know you're the person that comes to work and nobody wants to work with you, then you're that person, right? Like if you look at the schedule and go, man, I don't see anybody here that nobody would want to work with, you're probably that guy or gal. And we see it a lot in our profession. Just disgruntled, guilty. Like I'm not. I
was there.
Yes,
I was the person.
And would it take a life change to get past that, or does it take coaching? Does it take? And I can tell you that I've been on whatever stupid. I wouldn't say stupid. I apologize for that. When I do an evaluation of myself and I look at things that I like about me and some things that I don't like about me, those things that I don't like about me I'm perpetually working on. And so I use this example. I don't know how to get this point across, but I get up every day and say, okay, today I'm going to fix what I didn't like about me yesterday. And within 10 minutes of the day, I'm already back to where I was. And I'm like, well, shit. All right, I guess. And I'll start over right now and I'll try to be that. So it's not as clearly as easy as waking up one day and saying, I'm going to be more like AJ. And so here I go, because they're going to fail miserably real soon. And then they're going to be like, well, it doesn't work for me. I'm sorry. I can't be as happy as AJ. Does it take a life change, or do you think it can be coached into people? Do you think that I believe that you can unlearn habits and relearn new habits? I certainly think it physically. Like if you take anybody's, baseball or softball swing that is terrible, at 10U, you can make that swing real good at 14U because of training and drills and things like that. Are people just supposed to wait around for some good shit to happen before they go, oh, this is what they were talking about? Or is there stuff they can do every day if they're interested in being better humans?
Well, that's the thing. You got to want to, right?
Yeah.
That's the first part.
But I think everybody wants to. Like, everybody wants to lose weight, but there's a lot of work that goes involved with losing weight. And the same thing, too, is like they'll come up with the reason of why the laws of physics don't apply to them.
Right.
Yeah, it's easy for AJ and it's hard for me because I'm special in a way that science and nature doesn't apply to me.
Yeah.
Probably the same with personal development, I would imagine, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, but ultimately for me, it was a life change. That's what I had to do, in order to make where I'm at now better, honestly.
Do you still have to work at it every day? Do you feel like you have to, you just let nature take its course when you wake up? Or
I'm human. I mean, I still have to work at it, but I truly feel I don't have to work at it that hard.
Yeah.
I really don't. Because of what I had to, work through.
Yeah.
Was the hardest part. But once you got through, I was kind of like, oh, this is great. It's just easy. There's just so much more to life to be focused on than, maybe one thing that's uncontrollable.
Yeah.
Or that you can't control, then control it.
I just look at so many people and I don't necessarily know these people personally, but I know of situations where people feel stuck and they're just living the grind and they're doing it for the wrong reasons, and they're not, because again, we've talked about life doesn't cater to feel good movies, right? I know that our kids will watch a movie and be like, oh, I can be whatever I want to be.
Jaded.
Yeah, right. But when it comes down to it, you got to do things for the better of your family, and sometimes that means doing shit that you're not interested in doing for a while, and then getting in that feeling where you're just kind of stuck. But there's a way out. It probably though is going to take a big gamble and a big step and a a big hard look at yourself and go, listen, I'm not the version of me that I care to be, and I need to fix it. I want to fix it. It's better for my health and longevity. It's better for my relationship. It's better for my job. It's better for my profession.
Yeah.
If I get up and do something about it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which is
100%.
what you did.
Yeah. I mean, I took like an almost $30,000 pay cut. I mean, just to make a change. It wasn't about the money. It wasn't about anything. It was about.
But it wasn't really a change. It was an investment. Like you
Yeah.
lost money on an investment because you had to make something worse to make it better.
Yeah.
You had to, in the long run.
In the long run. Yeah.
And that's the thing with investments is people don't really realize is you got to put a little money in now to make a lot of money later.
Yeah.
In whatever you're doing, and you have to trust that it'll pay off. And if it's not, you got to pull your money out, invest it in something else.
And
you got to keep moving.
Mine's paying off. I mean, because
clearly,
I'm ready to go. Like I truly love where I'm at, man. I really do, and I love the people that I work with.
Well, I can tell you, we're probably getting to the point where we can wrap it up. It's infectious. It really is. And so I know you're not doing it as a character, like, right? Like
No.
You truly, when you come to work, are fired up and excitable. And I can tell you there's times when there's been a couple times lately. So last week I interviewed Clint. He was the out of hospital cardiac arrest that we'll listen to next week. That guy is super, like, I'm in it for the right reasons. I get to go to work, he says. I don't have to go to work today. I get to go to work today. And I'm like, and I looked at him when he said that and I was like, shit, man. Like, I know that it sounds like it looks like, or it sounds like it needs to be on your, like look around. I got 2 stupid live, laugh, love signs. Like, those are ridiculous. Take those out and say it out there. I get to go to work, right? Because that is the pinnacle of where you want to be in life. Is if you love what you do, you never work a day in your life. Cliche, right? But the point is that there's been times, mostly recently, probably in the last year or so, when I'm like, I have never thought in my life it's been difficult for me to get up and go to my job. Not one time in the last 8 years have I ever, that alarm goes off and I say, oh, shit, I got to go to my job today. I've always, all right, I'm going to work. Guys, going to work. But there have been times inside that where I'm just like, you know what? I'm not in the mood for this shit. Like, and I don't know why. I don't know where it's coming from. I don't like it. It's not often, but it has seeped into my conscious thought where I'm like, AJ's not this way, and so I need to be more conscious of. I need to be more like AJ. I need to be more like Clint.
Well, I'd say I'm nothing special, but I mean, like you said, when I said I was excited the night before to go to work, that's the thing is because I get to.
Yes.
I get to do what I wanted to do in life. I don't have to, and the rest is history. Honestly, like it wasn't an easy path.
It's the pinnacle, man, and I think
it's what I wanted to. It was the pinnacle for me. It's not the pinnacle for everybody. Everybody's got their own pinnacle in life, right?
It's all relative.
It was the pinnacle for me and where I wanted to get to, and I'm fortunate that I did it at a younger age. I can ride these years out.
But even then, when you say it, you did it at a younger age, it's not too late.
No.
Right? Like, you just have to make that investment
Yeah.
and know that it's going to be a life change. And I really feel passionate about this. I remember when, not to prolong this, but I remember when I had to get out of EMS for a while. I was like, the every third day grind was effing with me. It was a mental. I look back at early in my marriage and just how I was doing it wrong. And I felt like, but I didn't know how to do it. I didn't really have an example. You know, marriage is hard. Like, you don't know how to do it. Every day is a different deal, right? Nobody says, it doesn't matter. But I was like, I got to get out. Like, for whatever reason. And I came home and I told Lindsay, and I said, I'm working with a guy. I'm going to get into the construction business, like with this other guy. Completely abandoned my wonderful salary and my really, really good benefits for, you know, about maybe the same money, but now she's got to pick up the benefits, and it was a stress on our family to do that, and I didn't really realize how much it was because I needed to just get out. Like, but she said, like your wife, we'll make it work. right? Mm-hmm. And then I slowly realized after that I have no other marketable skills.
Same. I got nothing.
That I was like, I am not offering this like all I wanted to do at the time was feel that Friday at 5 vibe, right? Meaning like I wanted to sleep in my bed every night. I wanted there to be a beginning of my day and an end of my day, and I wanted to. And then I slowly realized that I effed up. Like this was not how, like people really clean their house at 7 o'clock at night. This is dumb. Like I'm used to doing that on Tuesday at like 9 o'clock.
Exactly.
And I have to work all day. Like I have to work Monday through Friday before I get a day off. Like that seems awful terrible. And I was not gifted or talented in any of that sort of profession where I was watching these guys with the pencils in their ear just whipping off math and fractions and cutting angles and all kinds of shit. I was the guy that said, I'll just go pick up that heavy thing and throw it in that trailer and I'll do that all day long. I was happy to do it. But after a while, you realize that it's just not you.
I tried selling new cars.
Shut up.
I was a new car salesman.
A new car salesman?
Yeah.
I can see you doing it.
No.
Right?
That was terrible.
Did you?
I was terrible at it. I think I sold like 5 cars in my entire like 6 months of being a
That's
new
not
car salesman.
That's not good?
No.
Oh, it's not?
No,
like
that's not good.
That's not good.
That's not good.
Oh. What was your catch? Were you too honest? Not to say that new car customers
like
aren't.
I couldn't lie. Like I just couldn't.
Were you supposed to?
I mean, I don't. Maybe I'm speaking out of turn here, but I mean, there's always an angle.
Yeah, I suppose.
You know, I mean, they want you to think that you're getting a good deal.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, you're just moving numbers around.
That's a great thing about our job is that there's no angle.
No.
It is either we do or like we do.
Yeah.
Like this is you're presented with A and you do B,
right.
And we do it, and that there's no angle. There's an angle higher above us, right? There's always an angle. Always follow the money.
Yeah.
But for you and I, there's no angle.
No.
It is what it is. Good conversation. You're going to be back several times.
Sure.
I think sometimes we just need to find a topic and just talk shit about it.
Yeah.
Talk shit about night shifts. I'm about to do a night shift. I'm not a fan.
Just came off one. Like
24.
This week, yeah.
No, I'm like legit night shift. Like I'm going to go to my job at 5:45 tonight.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you do work.
And I'm going to come home tomorrow morning. The trade-off is we're sitting here talking shit at 10 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
All right, man. Anything else?
No, I appreciate you having me, man.
Yeah, well, you're going to be back. All right, enjoy your vacation. Aren't you going on vacation real soon? Again?
Yeah, I'm going to Aspen.
Oh.
Yeah.
On a moped?
I wish.
You get 30 miles an hour on that hog. Just make sure you go in the right direction. Is somebody taking you?
What's that?
Are you going with somebody?
Yeah, I'm going with my dad. We go out and volunteer for the Veterans Winter Sports Clinic.
Oh,
year.
nice.
So
Yeah,
go
good
out
for
there
you.
and.
I just want to make sure. I just want to make sure you don't take a wrong turn and end up back in Nebraska.
No.
All right. All right, man. We'll see you later.
Later.
Bye. Hey, everybody. Thanks again for listening to another episode of the Shift Change Podcast. As always, look for updates on our Instagram page at talk.shiftchange on Instagram, and email me with any questions, problems, concerns at talkshiftchange@gmail.com. Thanks, everyone.